How many times have you said yes to sex when you really wanted to say no? If you've done that, you're not alone. This is one of the most common struggles that I see in my clients, and it's not just about the sex. It's about people pleasing and pressure and the fear of disappointing your partner. But the thing is that saying yes when you mean no obviously doesn't serve anyone. Not you, not your partner, and definitely not your relationship. Every time you override what your body is telling you, you reinforce the idea that your needs and desires don't matter. So today, we're breaking this all the way down. We're going to talk about why this happens, how it's affecting your relationship, and what you can do instead, including real tools to help you figure out what you actually want, get clear on your boundaries, and start having sex that feels like a full body yes. So let's dive in. Let's start with why this happens. For most women, and for me personally, when I've done this, saying yes to sex when I didn't really want to isn't about lying. It's not about deceiving my partner. It's about pressure. Pressure to be a good partner. Pressure to keep the peace and avoid any conflict. Pressure to meet expectations about sex, my expectations and my partner's expectations, and pressure to avoid feeling guilt or disappointment. But here's what I want you to hear. Saying yes when you mean no actually is what makes sex feel like a chore. The more it feels like a chore, the less you'll want it. And that's why so many women who force themselves to have sex end up with even lower desire over time, because your body learns that sex isn't for you. It is something that you endure. So how do we stop this cycle and get back to a place where sex feels good? I'm going to share the exact tools that will help you with that. But first, if you are resonating with this video so far, hit like and subscribe for more content on intimacy and relationships. It helps this message reach more women who really need to hear it. So I appreciate you. Okay, let's get into it. So here's the truth. You are way more likely to say yes to sex when the sex you're having is actually good. Imagine that. If you've been saying yes out of obligation, the chances are that you probably haven't taken time to figure out what you actually enjoy. So this is where my favorite tool, pleasure mapping, comes in, and I'm going to explain how to do it. So set aside 20 to 30 minutes alone, no distractions, and then you're going to just use gentle, slow touch on different areas of your body. I recommend starting with the extremities and then slowly working your way in. And just notice what feels good. Experiment with different types of touch. Do you like soft touch or firm touch, massage, stillness? No goal, no pressure, just observing. And when you learn what actually feels good to you, you can communicate it to your partner. And when the sex you're having is based on your pleasure, sex becomes easier. You want to say yes. So let's talk about the willingness scale. This is another one of my favorite tools. So how it works is before sex or when your partner initiates, ask yourself, on a scale of 1 to 10, how willing am I to do the work to turn myself on? If it's a 7 or above, very clear yes. 5 or below, probably a no. And if it's in the middle, ask yourself, what could I do that would make me more willing? Maybe it's cuddling, foreplay, or just adjusting expectations. This is a game changer because it just shifts you out of the autopilot, black and white yes or no, and helps you actually check in with yourself before saying yes. Okay, the other thing is that talking about sex can feel awkward, and I know that. But if you've been saying yes when you mean no, you actually just have to have a conversation about it. So I want to give you a really easy script that you can use with your partner. First, you're going to ask permission. Hey, can we talk about something that's been on my mind? Next, you're going to state the goal. I really want sex to feel good for both of us, and I've started to realize that I haven't been totally honest about what I need. Next, you're going to share the impact. Sometimes I rush through sex or fake pleasure or say yes when I don't really want to because I feel self-conscious, but I don't really want to do that anymore. I want us to both have sex that's amazing. And next, you're going to make a request. Can we try focusing on more foreplay or making space for more slow, connected intimacy instead of rushing? This kind of conversation builds trust, connection, and better sex for both of you. And if you're used to people-pleasing, saying no can feel very uncomfortable. But saying no doesn't have to be harsh or rejecting. You can say things like, okay, I'm not feeling up for sex tonight, but I'd love to cuddle. I'm feeling really tired, but let's make a plan for some time together tomorrow. The goal is to communicate that your no isn't about rejecting them, it's about honoring your needs. Finally, I just want you to reframe what sex is actually about. It's not about meeting a quota or avoiding guilt. It's about mutual enjoyment and connection. When you start saying no, when you mean no, your yes becomes so much more meaningful. your partner will feel the difference. And that's what creates a sex life that feels real, connected, and hot. So let's recap. 1, you're going to figure out what actually feels good to you. Next, you're going to use the willingness scale to check in before sex. 3, you're going to start having honest conversations about your needs. 4, you're going to practice saying no with care. And 5, you're going to shift the focus from obligation to connection. And when you do these things, you're not just improving your sex life, you're reclaiming your power in intimacy. If you're struggling with low libido and you're wondering, how can I start wanting sex again? I made a video that breaks down exactly why that happens and what to do about it. You can click here to watch it now. And I appreciate you being here. I'll see you in the next one.